Hello everyone, it's that guy who makes videos every 2 years. Actually I have improved this time. It's only been about a year I think since the last video I made. I've been busy and that's sort of what this video is about. I was making this game that you're seeing here. It's basically a game based on sim-u-kraft, but with a lot more stuff to it as well, like well, loads more stuff to it. So it is quite a big game and it is going to take a while. So I was getting some advice from various other indie game developers, because this is basically my first game that I was making, and they were saying for your first game you shouldn't make a really big game, you should make a smaller game, just so you can get sort of into it. I've heard it a lot, so I thought I'd take that advice, put this game on hold and make a smaller game, and so I did. That's what I've been doing for a year, on and off, not all the time. So I'll be showing you that later on in the video, but now I've kind of finished that. The version 1's out, you can go and get it. It's on itch.io, however you pronounce that. I'll put a link in the description for it so you can have a look at that. It's a very small, simple game, but it's quite fun, I think. Just a bit of mucking around. And it's a very budget game, very cheap. So I'll show you a bit of that later on. So I will be continuing this game that you see in here, the sim-u-kraft sort of game, but with other stuff as well. I will be continuing work on that. I've done about 5 months of work on it so far, worked out, and it is coming along nicely. I'm really enjoying writing it, and I really do want to complete it and get it out there. Because I think a lot of if you played sim-u-kraft and you like it, then I think you're going to like this, because it is more or less the same but with more stuff, and it looks a bit better, and I can really go to town with this and make it a really good game. So more about that. I might do like a development blog just to show you what I'm doing with this game, and maybe the odd video about Emoji Miner if anyone's interested. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I just sort of wanted to get this out and let you know what's happening. I haven't just totally gone away. Very much want to make lots of games. I've got several games. I've got 3 or 4 kind of partially written games. Lots of ideas for more. And of course I bet you guys have come up with some ideas as well of what things I can add to an existing game or something. So I'll cut it short here and then just cut to a video I made just explaining what Emoji Miner is all about. Just shows you a bit of gameplay instead of just a quick trailer. I made a quick trailer for it just to show you a little bit about it, but then I've made this a longer video just to show you the gameplay and what it's all about. It is a very simple game, but it sort of the video just shows you how to get started with it, and what the game's all about. See if it's something that you'd want to play. So I'll cut to that video right now. Hello everyone. You've probably seen the trailer for my game Emoji Miner. I'm just going to do a follow-up video just to show you the beginnings of the game, and then a little bit later on in the game, just so you can see what it's all about. Maybe drop in a few tips, and because it's not, some of the parts of the game aren't really obvious, you have to sort of figure it out, but I just want to do this as a kind of helping tutorial video. I'm going to start a new game. Type in anything here for the name of the game really. My YouTube subscribers are awesome. There we go. And you can type in a seed if you want, or just leave it blank for a random one, so like ABC 123 whatever and all that. The short and long game, I'd probably just recommend a short game. I'll just put the long game in just in case you want to, because it could be a bit like grindy doing that sort of game. So just leave it on short game and try that if you want. So just start a new game. And this is just the intro. I'll just show you a bit of this. Okay, so not at all Star Wars related or anything, probably not copyright or anything. I'll just skip the rest of it. And so you find yourself in a randomly generated universe on a randomly generated planet of different sizes and shape, well, not shapes, they're all round, but sizes and colours. You get little pop-ups here to kind of guide you along a little bit and just to tell you about things that are happening. And this is you, the little emoji guy. It's simple A and D to go around the a planet, nice and easy. So this is our first planet. You get the first one free, but then you have to claim other planets by planting a flag like this into it, and that gives you mining rights to get all this good stuff down here. So you start off with a little wooden box, and you'll get kind of a random amount, but the minimum amount, so it's potluck how much you get. I've got 2 furnaces there, so that's quite good. So if I want to place anything down, you can't place everything down, but just go on to that place down button and click on that, and then you just slide with the mouse till you find a spot. You can't put it there because it's in the way, and place it down. I can place another one down, or I can just right click and that goes back into the chest there. The other one is that one there is food seeds, so you'll need those later on. You start off with 1 or 2 and they'll just multiply, and you'll end up with about 200 or so, and then you can start selling them for a little bit of money. So we can't use those straight away, you need to set things up first. One of the things you can do is start growing some industrial hemp. So what this is used for is once you harvest it, you get hemp oil, which you can refine into rocket fuel, which you'll need. You get cellulose and plant fibre, and both of those make all sorts of things like plastic and things like that. So I'll leave that for you to find out. So probably the first thing you want to do is actually plant these down, because you want to get them growing straight away. They do multiply, you do get some seeds back. So again, click on place down and click on that. You see this little planter here, so I'm going to plant all these down, and that's it. Again, right click if you only want to plant one down or something like that. They also then start growing, you don't need to do anything. You'll see when they're ready for harvesting and everything, so it takes a while, so do that first, I would recommend. So this is all the ore in the planet going right down. You start off with the level 1 or level 1 drill. So if I just stand like this and click this button here, you can see that's quite slow, and it'll only go down to this level here. So you just have to upgrade the drill and it will go deeper and faster, so you can mine all the stuff down here. You can't actually see all the way down to the core. There's lots of gold and some special made up namium crystals that you can use to power your warp drive, which is later on in the game, of course. The other button up here is the crafting menu. These are all the things there are. There's no hidden ones. You just get everything available, but obviously you can't make everything. So like for instance this one here, I haven't got 6 iron plates, so it shows up as in red at the bottom there. But if you just hover the mouse over it, it tells you what it does and how much you need for each thing. These are all in red because I haven't got anything at the moment. I'll go through these as I come to them really. So you just click on the item you want and then click on that if you've got the amount, and that will start building it in the background, crafting it. Fairly simple mechanic. Just mine up a couple more. So yeah, that's really slow and annoying, so you want to upgrade the drill pretty quickly. So all the things will go into the nearest chest as long as there's space available, and you can build better chests later on as you get more resources. And anything that needs smelting, as you can see, has just been thrown into here. So it uses 1 coal and 2 well, iron or copper or something like that, and that will give you the 2 plates. So it's kind of like half a coal per plate. And you can see there now I've got the 2 iron plates. I can do stuff with that. In fact, I could go back here and do the upgrade for the drill. A familiar sound if you've played sim-u-kraft. So these are growing nicely. I'll show you the other bits as well. So this one here is the map. You click on that, and this is the planet that we're on at the moment, Fitzwilliam. And if I zoom out, you just use the mouse wheel to zoom out. You can see that the universe is quite big. It fills the screen, but what you have to do is go out there with a rocket and discover new planets. You can only see these at the moment, and you've got that's an asteroid there, the A6526. You can go out with the rocket and mine that, and it's a lot easier mining asteroids than planets because you can do it a lot quicker. You can just see on the edge of the screen, if I scroll around, just left click and drag to move around. You see all the little aliens just floating around. They're looking for planets as well, so they'll colonize planets and start doing some mining. And the space pirates, try to avoid those, because they will come to your planet when you start settling down and building stuff. They'll take notice and start coming over and giving you some hassle, so you can defend yourself against those. I'll show you that in a little while. So that's the map screen. You don't use it a lot just for when you're on the planet. It's used when you've got the rocket. It's really handy for navigating around. Again, I'll show you that later. So back to the normal one. We should have the upgraded drill now, so if I now drill again, slightly faster, and I can get down to that copper level as well. So you do need the coal as well to burn to smelt the ores. Just flying around. You get some extra stuff as well, like this bum civilian. It's a very obscure reference joke. So what that's used for, you get that as part of smelting iron, and it's used as a fertilizer for when you're growing food. It just grows food a little bit quicker, which is handy. The next icon along on the top there, there's quite a bit of information, is how much money you have, which is GUCs, which is generic units of currency. So you can sell stuff that you've got surplus later on in the game, not straight away, and you can also buy stuff with the money you earn. It also tells you I've got 100 emojis waiting for rescue, and so far I haven't rescued any. So you can't really rescue them straight away. You need to build housing and infrastructure first, and it also tells you how many you've housed. This bit here shows you the planet list, so you can see these are the discovered planets and how far away they are, and how far away they are down there, the size of them. So that's quite important, that is. So it's best to colonize sometimes the bigger planets because you've got more space to put housing and things down. And then this column here is just who owns it. So I own this planet at the moment, nobody owns the other one, so I could go and plant a flag in any of those. The other bit just shows you a bit about the information about all the different aliens that are in it. They're all friendly apart from these guys. They're not very nice at all, really. They'll just take your stuff and not really care. And then finally down at the bottom there you've got what planet you're currently on and who owns it, just in case you'd want to know and are not aware of that. It will tell you just there. And that's just a pause menu. You can resume, pause the game, go back to the main menu and all that. Very simple. Up here on the alerts, if you click on that yellow bar, it'll just drop down and show you the last 5 alerts that you've got, just in case you miss one. So that's quite handy. So now I'll zip forward to a game I've been playing a couple of hours, so you can see what I've got so far, how the game progresses. So here we are on a world I've made earlier. There's quite a bit of stuff I've made so far. This isn't like really into the game. This is kind of a couple of hours in, maybe. It depends how fast you go, really, how much you take your time. You can see the crop these are grown and fully ready to harvest. You can just click on those when they're done. If you click on that one, it tells you you can't do that because it's not ready yet. You see a whole bundle of stuff that comes off these. I'll just click all those and they all sort of flow in. So there's seeds, we can just replant those. You get extra seeds each time so that you'll never run out, and you'll end up selling them on the Emoji Bay market after a while. Oops. If you only want to plant a few, just right click again and leave it. Get some of those. So some other stuff I've got is, as you'll notice, I've got a copper chest here, so you get a bit more room in the bigger chests, so it's handy to have the bigger ones to store more stuff. This machine here is a still, so it takes the hemp oil that we've just grown over there and turns it into rocket fuel. So it's 4 hemp oil to 1 rocket fuel once it's refined. So you do have to do quite a bit of it. Just saw it very briefly there, and now it's put that in there. If I want to transfer that to the rocket, which I'll show you in a mo, we just click on that icon there to start transferring to rocket and click the item. If you click the item, it will send a stack or the whole stack or 10. You can also control click and that will just send just one of the items if you only want to send a few. I'll send that flag over as well. That's a flag I made, so I can take that flag and go and plant it in a planet somewhere. You've seen the furnace already. This one's a special furnace, like an advanced furnace, so it uses the hemp oil as well as some other things like cellulose from the plant, and that will make plastic, and you need that for several items, including this one. It's just a bit of a silly thing. I wanted a ground-based laser to protect yourself. Oh, so that's just an alert saying one of the aliens has just picked up some stuff from me. They must have gone already. So I've just made some money. Got 13 grand. Yes. This one here is the press. This is just a kind of extra bit you don't really need. It's just it takes a few of the seeds and crushes them down and gets a bit more hemp oil out of it. And this is the Emoji Bay computer I mentioned earlier. So basically you come on here, this is what stuff is for sale and how much, and it's like an auction, like the famous auction site on the internet. So many minutes left, so you've only got a certain amount of time. But if you fancy any of this and you've got the money, you just click on buy, and then there's no intergalactic postal service, so you have to go to the planet and go pick it up. So there's quite a bit of stuff here. Diamonds are very expensive at the moment. The prices will fluctuate as well, so if you go and sell a load of seeds or something, the price will just drop down, so you can't really sell a load more the next day. And likewise, if it's quite rare, the price will go up. I'm not selling anything at the moment. I've just sold that thing. The way you sell things, just in case you need to don't quite get that, let me see if I've got anything to sell. Yeah, I'll sell those. So you just click on sell, click on the seeds, and that puts them inside the computer so you can't actually use them. If it doesn't sell, there it is. If it doesn't sell, it'll just go back into the chest, but if it does sell, you'll get 25.34 cooks times 9. So let me show you the rocket. Once you've built the rocket, you will need the fuel, and like I say, you just transfer the fuel from one of these chests into the rocket. So I've got 9 cans of rocket fuel in there. So you don't have to go in a rocket and go other places. You can actually play the game staying on the same planet, but it gets a bit kind of cramped trying to fit everything into one planet. So anyway, that's the stuff in the inventory, and to get inside you click on this one, and now I'm inside the little rocket. Get an extra bit of information here. This is what planet I'm on, how close I am, speed, things like that, how much fuel I have. So I've got 9% in the fuel tank and 9 cans waiting to be used, and I've not damaged it at all. Now, flying the rocket can be quite tricky. I mean, I've got used to it now because I've had lots of practice. This is a level 1 rocket as well, so it's not as powerful, and it is even harder to fly really. So the level 3 rocket is much better. You've got a lot more control and thrust, acceleration and all that. So you just press W for the main engines, and then if you let go, gravity will take its effect and hit the floor. Damaged it a little bit there. So let me just do that again, and then it's A and D will rotate. Don't need any fuel to rotate. Don't worry about burning all your crops down. So that's the main engine. You've also got a retro engine on the S key. You can redefine these if you want to as well, and that just, it's not as powerful as the main engine, but it will just use it to slow down a little bit. And as you can see, I'm automatically going round this planet because the gravity is sort of pulling me down that way and the speed's pulling me that way, so it's uses proper Newton's gravity thing that he came up with. So you can orbit a planet like without any fuel, in other words. So now we're in orbit, you can go to any other planet, and the best place to do that is the this map screen. Let me just zoom in. Let's go to the planet Snot, plant a flag in it. So I'm going to, there's several ways of choosing a planet that you want to go to. If you're right near it, you can just click on it like that, and you see this red bar and it shows you some information. If it's miles away, you can actually look through a list here, planets that I own and things I need to go purchase, which is none at the moment, and you can just scroll through the list. It's all in alphabetical order, and these are just the known planets, so not counting the ones you haven't found yet. The other thing to notice is the red line is where the planet that you want to go to. It's fairly obvious it's over there, but if it's miles away, that red line is kind of helpful to show you where it is. And the green line is just the kind of the direction that you're travelling. Well, where you're travelling, the velocity vector I think is the fancy name for it. As I'm going around this planet, it's changing the velocity vector because the gravity is pulling me towards the planet. So what we're going to do is line up the green line with the red line, and then we're on our way to the target, which is the planet Snot, just over there. So let's just wait till we get around this side. And again, you can rotate and use the rocket while you're on this screen. It's sometimes better to do it that way because you can see exactly where you're going then. So if I just fire the thrusters, or the main engine, you can see I'm rotating it as well. Now we're out of the gravity, it's stopped pulling us away. So we're heading towards the planet Snot at a reasonable pace. If you have a look on the main screen, it's just going quite fast, but not that fast. I've just discovered a new planet. Right, fast approaching, so I better slow down. I like to turn around because the main engine is so much more powerful. You can now see it on the radar there. This shows you that's just off screen. Let's slow down a bit. Oh dear. Not bad. It's a lot easier to land with the Rocket 3 that you can get later on. Now if you do land on the side, you can actually take off. If you scrape along the planet like that, you can do that, but probably not best to. What I like to do instead is if you get out and wait a couple of seconds, the rocket will self-correct like that. Saves you messing about. Right, as soon as it's a new planet, there's no mining rights, so I'm going to plant a flag in it. So same again, you press the place down that flag, and there we go. Don't want to place down several. And if I had a chest, yeah, I do have a chest. Place down that wooden chest as well. And I can go ahead and just start mining on this planet as well. Yeah, as you can see, I've got a level 9 drill. Remember how we had a 1 or 2, so it mines really fast compared to the other one, and you can get right down to the core where you can see some gold and made up namium crystals which you'll need for warp drive. Let's see if we can get one. Ah, no. So yeah, it's a lot quicker mining with the more powerful drill. There we go. Yes, planted a flag on another planet. One giant leap. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of stuff there. So once you finish mining, you can just transfer all the stuff over to the rocket. Just click on it like that. You can see it flying around in the background. That's now all on board the rocket. I can go back and drop it in the furnace. Let me just get back in, and this time I'll use the drop down, and it's just the same, it just tells you where it is and in that direction. You can drag around the map as well, just if you want to look around. Another thing as well, you can navigate using this. It just shows you the direction you need to go on this screen. We've also got, as well as the rotation and the retro engine, you've got Q and E, which will do. Let me just zoom in on that. You can see the little thrusters. They're not very powerful. It's just, and you don't really need them. It's just a, if you want that extra bit of control, you can use those, especially when you're mining asteroids and you want very small movements. Let's go back to the old screen, the map screen, and you see I'm going in the exact opposite direction. There we go. So you can just use this to rotate around and get lined up. There we go, that's close enough. Spin it around. Going from small, like the small distances is quite easy. It's when you need to go the other side of the universe, it takes a while without a warp drive. I'm coming up on there now, so I'll just go to this screen. Again, you can see it on the radar coming up quickly. Oh dear, I'm rubbish at landing with this. Yeah, it's not as powerful, that rocket. That I'll just lay it down. So 24% damage. You want to keep an eye on that. If you break your planet and you're halfway across the universe, it's a bit inconvenient. So now I've arrived, I can click on that, transfer, oops, wrong button, get out, and transfer all of the good stuff. That'll do, and that'll just furnace up just as before. This is all done. So this has all been grown while I've been away. And like I say, you can grow stuff on other planets as long as you own them. So this is the start of it. Next, once you've got some sort of infrastructure in place, you'll need to build these apartments. Need some more lead for that one. And for each apartment we'll home one emoji, and like I say, you've got 100, so you might not fit them all on one planet, but you can do it. But that's no good because they've got no water, so you'll need one of these. Will mine up a certain amount of water. I think it's 10 apartments it will provide for, give or take. So you want one of these pumps, water pumps for each, one of these water pumps for 10 apartments. And the other thing is this, for the food you get this auto farm machine. So those food seeds as shown earlier, those will automatically go in here, grow the food and give you an extra seed back and the food as well, and that will provide food for them. This is the warp drive. So you place this item in the rocket and you'll need some of those red crystals, and that will allow you to warp to different places very quickly indeed. Lot easier than rocketing around. And that's the Emoji Bay computer that I've shown you earlier. These are all the bits to the rocket. So level 1 rocket, we need one of those, the rocket body, one of these three, that's the 1, 2 and 3, and one of the tanks. Once you've got those three, you can go ahead and craft the level 1 rocket. And these two at the end here, you can upgrade the level 1 rocket to a level 2, and likewise with that one, level 3, which is really good, fast. So that's all I'm going to show you for now. If there's anything else you're not clear about, just there's various ways. You can post on the comments on YouTube. There's a Discord server you can ask on there. I think there's a forum on itch.io as well. And either me or somebody else will probably be able to answer if you're not sure about anything. Just shout up and I'll try my best to help. It is a quite simple game, so it doesn't really need an in-game tutorial. But there's always one or two things you're not sure about. Just ask or just click on stuff. Yay! Some more money. I'm rich now. So this is the map after I've been flying around in the rocket for a bit of time. So you can see some asteroids out here. You just mine those up by going out to them with the miner. They might hit a planet and blow up and stuff, so you might miss that and see a load of debris. You've got these other aliens, they're just looking around looking for another planet. And the space pirates, they'll just go around and generally be a nuisance. So like I say, if you've got any questions, just pop them in the comments and I'll try to help. And I hope you enjoy playing my new game, my debut game.